Hello, in this video, we are going to study the design and the work done for Pelton wheel or Pelton turbine. In previous videos, we have introduces the various types of turbines, classification of turbine, and also the parts of Pelton wheel and Pelton turbine and the working of it. Also, we have covered the efficiencies and heads of different heads of turbine. So, we'll proceed in this. We'll proceed for the work done for Pelton wheel turbine and also for the design of Pelton wheel turbine. Okay. Now the velocity triangles and work done. Here, this figure shows the shape of vanes or buckets of the Pelton wheel. Here, this figure A, you can see here that the veins are of this shaped, that is cup shaped. Okay, and this portion is connected to the runner. Hmm. Now the center of this is known as splitter. This is I have explained you in previous video. The jet of water from the nozzle strikes the bucket at the splitter here, which splits up the jet into two parts. Okay, the jet will strikes at the splitter and it will splits up the jet into two equal parts. Now these parts of jet glides over the inner surface, this surface, inner surfaces, and comes out at the outer surface or the outer edge of the veins. Now the figure B, this figure shows the section of bucket in this manner, shows the section of bucket at z axis. This dotted portion shown here at the z axis. Now the splitter is the inlet tip and the outer edge is the outer tip or the outlet tip of the bucket. Jet of water will strike here, so this will the inlet tip, and after gliding the water will comes out at the outer edge of the bucket. So this will be the outlet tip of your bucket, or for water this will be the outlet tip. Now the inlet velocity triangle, so for this reason only the inlet velocity triangle is drawn at the splitter and the outlet velocity triangle is drawn at the outer edge of the bucket. Here you can see here that there are two velocity triangles which they have drawn here in this figure, and the procedure for drawing the velocity triangles is same as that of I have explained the procedure in the module impact of jet on the curved vane which is moving. So in the same manner we have to draw the velocity triangles for this also. Okay, so here the velocity triangles are drawn where v1 will be your velocity of v1 will be the velocity of jet at inlet, u1 will be your velocity of plate or velocity of vane. Also the v2 will be velocity of jet at outlet. U2 will be the velocity of a plate or a wheel. Here U will be velocity of wheel. Okay, here the angle of deflection is shown VR1, VR2, that is relative velocities, whirl velocity, flow velocity, guide blade angles, vane angles are shown here. The all these have already explained in the impact of jet chapter, so I am not going to explain it again. Here the work done phenomenon for the turbine The formulas for work done per second per unit weight of water striking per second equals to 1 by G of VW1 plus VW2 into U. Okay, VW1 plus VW2 into U. Now the hydraulic efficiency for it is 2 in bracket VW1 plus VW2 into U divided by V1 square. This will be the hydraulic efficiency for the Pelton wheel. And also the maximum efficiency, if we are going to calculate, then maximum efficiency equals to 1 plus cos of theta divided by 2. Okay, these formulas you have to remember. And now the points to be remember for the Pelton wheel. Now while designing or while determining the work done or velocities, these points should be remember for the Pelton wheel, so that we can directly move to the problems or numericals. Here first point is the velocity of jet at inlet. For calculating it, V1 equals to CV root of 2GH, where CV is the coefficient of velocity. That CV will differ or vary from 0.98 to 0.99. Now capital H is your net head of turbine. We have discussed in previous video, net head is nothing but gross head minus head losses. Hmm. Now the velocity of wheel. Second point is velocity of wheel U will be equals to, that means V is velocity of jet and U is velocity of wheel. Okay. Now U is phi root of 2GH. Only the difference is here you have to multiply it by CV, and for wheel you have to multiply it by phi. Okay. Now phi is the speed ratio, and the speed ratio will vary from 0.43 to 0.48. Okay. This is the second point that you have to remember. Third is the angle of deflection of jet through bucket is taken as 165 degrees if no angle of deflection is given. Okay, whenever the angle of deflection is not given, you have to take the angle of deflection as 165 degrees. This is the universal value. You have to remember this. Fourth is mean diameter or pitch diameter capital D of a Pelton wheel is, you have to find out it by U equals to pi dn upon 60. That means D will be pitch diameter or mean diameter will be 60 U divided by n pi. N will be your number of revolutions, and here U is velocity as usual, velocity. Pi is a constant term. Secondly, jet ratio. Now the jet ratio is defined as, and it is denoted as, first it is denoted as M. M is here, M is nothing, not hydraulic mean radius or a hydraulic mean depth. Here the M is jet ratio. Okay. Now the jet ratio is the ratio of pitch diameter of Pelton wheel to the diameter of jet D. Okay, diameter of jet D. Pitch diameter divided by diameter of jet, that is M equals to capital D divided by small d. Now the next point is number of buckets on the runner. How to find out it? Number of buckets on the runner will be Z equals to 15 plus capital D divided by 2D, that will be 15 plus 0.5 M. Okay, where M is your jet ratio. Now the number of jets. अभी नंबर ऑफ बकेट्स फाइंड आउट किए रनर पे, तो नंबर ऑफ जेट्स कैसे फाइंड आउट करेंगे? आइदर दैट इज अ 1 jet और 3 jet और अ 2 jet टर्बाइन. How to find out it? So number of jets will be obtained by dividing the total rate of flow through turbine by the rate of flow of water through single jet. Okay, it is a very simple. You have to divide the total rate of flow through turbine to the rate of flow of water through single jet. Okay, these points you have to remember while calculating the different parameters for the Pelton turbine. Okay, so now we'll move further for the numerical. The first numerical is here. A Pelton wheel has a mean bucket speed of 10 meters per second. Mean bucket speed is 10 meters per second with a jet of water flowing at the rate of with a jet of water flowing at the rate of 700 liters per second under a head of 30 meters. The buckets deflect the jet through an angle of 160 degrees. Calculate the power given by water to the runner and the hydraulic efficiency of the turbine. Assume coefficient of velocity as 0.98. Here in this numerical, they have given the mean bucket speed. That means v is not given. V is the velocity of jet. So mean bucket speed is nothing but your u. Okay, as this is a mean bucket speed, you have to return it as a u equals to u1 equals to u2. Now if you remember, this condition is we studied in impact of jet velocity triangles part. Okay, in that v1 equals to u2, u1 equals to u2 equals to u is the um, is the assumption that we have made there. Okay, so that we have used here u equals to u1 equals to u2 by using velocity triangles, that is given as 10 meters per second. Okay, now secondly they have given the jet of water flowing at the rate of, that means uh, it is in liters per second, that it means it is a discharge. Q equals to 700 liters per second. We have to convert it in meter cube per second, and under a head of 30 meters. Under a head of, that means that is a net head. Okay, so we have written it as a h equals to 30 meters. Now they have given also the deflection angle of 160 degrees here. Now this is a 160 degrees, so that will be your exterior angle. So the angle of deflection phi will be calculated by 180 degrees minus 160 degrees. That will be your 20 degrees angle. Now you have to calculate the power and the hydraulic efficiency, and coefficient of velocity CV they have given as 0.98. Okay. Now in this we have learned that for calculating the velocity of jet at inlet, that is V1, the CV is required. Okay, so by using the formula we can calculate the velocity of jet at inlet first. V1 equals to CV root of 2GH. Okay, so by substituting all the values here, you will get the V1 as 23.77 meters per second. Okay, now if you draw the velocity triangle as mentioned above, then you will get the VR1 as V1 minus U1. Okay, relative velocity will be V1 minus U1. Okay, so here V1 is known, U1 is also known. So VR1 will be 13.77 meters per second. Okay, and by from this velocity triangle we can clearly see that VW1 will be equals to V1. Okay, so V1 की जो value है, that value will be equal to VW1. We can write it here. Now this is from inlet velocity triangle. Now from outlet velocity triangle. From outlet velocity triangle, and this is the general statement for velocity triangles that we have studied in impact of jet, that VR1 equals to VR2. So VR2 will be same as that of VR1, that is 13.77. Now by using this velocity triangle we can find out VW2 as VR2 cos of phi minus U2. Okay, VR2 cos of phi minus U2. The whole side minus U2 will be 2.94 meters per second as VW2. Okay, now up to this VW1 is known, VW2 is known, V1 U is also known. So by using this we can find out the work done by jet per second on the runner by using the equation that we have studied as rho a V1 in bracket rho a V1 in bracket VW1 plus VW2 into U. Okay, VW1 plus VW2 into U. Okay, now this work done we have find out is work done by jet per second on the runner. Okay, not in per unit weight. So here 1 by G is not given, they have directly taken as rho a V1. Okay, rho a V1. Now substitute all the values here, you will get the work done as 186,970 Newton meter per second as the work done. Now by using work done we can find out the power given to the turbine as work done divided by 1000. 186.97 kilowatts is the power to the turbine. Now the hydraulic efficiency, which is the last part. Hydraulic efficiency of turbine is eta H will be 2 in bracket VW1 plus VW2 into U divided by V1 square. Here VW1, VW2, V1 and U are the known values. So substitute it, you will get 94.54% of hydraulic efficiency for that particular turbine. Okay. Now the second numerical on the same is Pelton wheel is to be designed for the following specifications. Shaft power equals to 11,772 kilowatts, 11,772 kilowatts. Head is 380 meters. Speed is 750 rpm. Overall efficiency 86%. Now, jet diameter is not to exceed 1/6 of the wheel diameter. Determine wheel diameter, number of jets required, diameter of jet. Take the KV1 equals to 0.985 and KU1 equals to 0.45. Okay, here they have given SP shaft power or the power P. Head, that is net head, H equals to 380 meters. Speed they have given, that is n, 750 revolutions, that is 750 revolutions per minute. Overall efficiency 86%. And again they have given a condition. The condition is jet diameter is not to exceed 1/6 of wheel diameter. Okay, and also kv1 and ku1 they have given. Now here you can see that k is nothing but the constant, okay, or sorry, coefficient. But here v1 and u1, k v1 and k u1 they have given. So k v1 is nothing but your coefficient of velocity as usual, and k u1, the value if you see here, the value is in between 0.45 to 0.48. Okay, so 0.43 to 0.48. So that will be your speed ratio, that is phi. So k u1 is your 0.45, that is speed ratio. Hmm? Now again the overall efficiency is given 86%. Here the condition that they have given, that jet diameter is not to exceed 1/6 of wheel diameter, that can be written as d by capital D of equals to 1/6. Okay, now they asked us to find out the wheel diameter, number of jets required, and the diameter of jet. Okay, so for that, first thing is you have to find out the velocity v1 of jet. So by using cv or kv1, we can find out the velocity of jet as cv equals v1 equals to cv root of 2gh. Okay, cv is given as 0.985 into root of 2, g into h is 380. So 85.05 meters per second is your velocity of jet at inlet, that is v1. Now from the velocity triangles, you can, this statement is this statement can be directly written u1 equals to u2 equals to u. Now the velocity of wheel, okay, velocity of wheel, that is u. This is not given, so by using speed ratio we can find out it. Speed ratio into root of 2gh, that is phi into root of 2gh. I hope you remember the formula. Substitute the values here, you will get 38.85 meters per second as the velocity of wheel. Now if you remember that I have shown you u equals to phi root 2 gh, but u can be written as pi dn upon 60. Okay, pi dn upon 60. Now by using this expression, you can find out the d, that is mean diameter or pitch diameter. Okay, so d will be 0.989 meters, that is your wheel diameter. Okay, now by using the condition that they have given, now by using that condition you can find out the diameter of jet also. Okay, so d by capital D equals to 1/6. Capital D is calculated here 0.989. Substitute here in the equation, you will get diameter of jet small d equals to 0.165 meters. 0.165 meters. Now secondly, they have asked us to find out number of jets. For that, you have to find out first discharge from one jet. So discharge of one jet will be small q equals to area of one jet into the velocity of jet. So area of one jet will be pi by 4 d square. D is known, 0.165. So substitute here the area. Discharge through one jet will be 1.818 meter cube per second. Okay, now they have given the overall efficiency. Okay, Along with this overall efficiency, shaft power is also given. Okay, so by using the formula for overall efficiency, that is shaft power divided by water power, water power can be calculated as rho g QH by 1000. Okay, this thing we have studied already. Rho g QH divided by 1000. So substitute here, you will get the value of total discharge. Okay, you get the value of total discharge. So discharge of one jet is known, and also the discharge through total discharge is also known. Okay, so divide it, total discharge divided by discharge of one jet, you will get approximately two number of jets required for that particular turbine, Pelton wheel turbine. Now after this, this is all about the numericals for Pelton wheel turbine. Now we'll move further for the design of Pelton wheel turbine. Now, for design of Pelton wheel turbine, you have to remember some points here. For for the design, you have to find out the following data. Okay, yeah, that you have to determine this following data. First is diameter of jet, small d, diameter of wheel, capital D, width of buckets, which is 5 into D. These are the formulas that you have to remember. Width of the buckets, which is 5 into D. Next is depth of bucket, which is 1.2 into D, and number of buckets on the wheel. Okay, if they asked us to find out the size of buckets, then size of bucket means width of buckets and depth of bucket. Okay, width of buckets and the depth of bucket. So these things you have to remember, or these things, these parameters you have to determine while designing a Pelton wheel. Okay, so we'll move further for the numerical for design of a Pelton wheel. The first numerical is here. A Pelton wheel is to be designed for a head of 60 meters when running at 200 rpm revolutions per minute. The Pelton wheel develops 95.6475 kilowatt of shaft power. The velocity of buckets equals to 0.45 times the velocity of jet. Overall efficiency equals to 0.85, and coefficient of velocity is equals to 0.98. Okay, here in this problem they have given the head of turbine, head of Pelton wheel, that is net head H equals to 60 meters. N is given RPM 200 RPM. The shaft power, that is power, is given as 95.6475 kilowatts. Also the velocity of buckets, that is U, is given as 0.45 times the velocity of jet. That means U equals to 0.45 times V. Okay, also eta O is given 0.85, and coefficient of velocity, that is CV, equals to 0.98. Now we have to design this. Design means I have explained, design means you have to think of the first diameter of jet, diameter of wheel, width and depth of buckets and number of buckets. Okay, so for that, first you have to find out the velocity of jet by using the formulas of velocity of jet, that is v1 equals to cv root of 2gh. All the values are known here, cv and h. Substitute it, you will get the velocity of jet v1 as 33.62 meters per second as the velocity of jet. Okay, now this is your velocity of jet. Now velocity of bucket is 0.45 times the velocity of jet. This is the condition that they have given. So by using that condition, you can find out u as 0.45 into v1. 0.45 into 33.62 meters per second, which is 15.13 meters per second as the bucket velocity. Okay, but as I have explained previously, by using this formula and also this formula, we can find out the velocity of buckets. So for this formula we are going to use for finding out the diameter. Okay, diameter of wheel. So use this formula, u equals to pi d n upon 60. U we have calculated here, n they have given as 200 rpm. Substitute all the values, you will get diameter of wheel as 1.44 meters. Okay, by using this formula you will get the diameter of wheel as 1.44 meters. Now diameter of wheel is known, diameter of jet we have to find out. Now for finding out the diameter of jet, here we can use the overall efficiency. Okay, overall efficiency is nothing but your shaft power divided by water power. Okay, in water power you can calculate the discharge. Okay, total discharge through that jet. Now by using that discharge, you can find out the area, and by using the area you can find out the diameter. Okay, so firstly use the formula for overall efficiency. Overall efficiency is shaft power divided by water power, that is 95.6475 divided by water power by 1000. Okay, so substitute here rho g and 60h, you can get the value of discharge. Okay, discharge, total discharge will be 0.1912 meter cube per second. This value will be your discharge. Now discharge, by using continuity equation, discharge will be area of jet into velocity of jet. Okay, area of jet into velocity of jet. Now for area of jet we have find out the diameter of jet. We have to find out the diameter of jet, and velocity of jet we have already find out. So substitute all the values here, you will get the diameter of jet as 85 mm. Okay, so diameter of wheel will be 0.14 meters and diameter of jet will be 85 mm. Now two parameters we have calculated. Third is size of buckets. Now for size of bucket means width of buckets and depth of buckets. Okay, these are the formulas known, they have given the formulas. For width of bucket will be 5 into diameter of jet, and depth of buckets will be 1.2 into diameter of jet. Okay, so for this diameter of jet we have calculated. Substitute in the formulas, you will get width of bucket is 425 mm and depth of bucket will be 102 mm. Okay, depth will be 102 mm. Now the last is number of buckets on the wheel. Okay, for this also the formula is known to us. Z will be 15 plus D divided by 2 small d. Okay, substitute all the values here. You will get 23.5, that is approx equal to 24 number of buckets on the wheel. Okay, this is about how to design the Pelton wheel. Okay, now we'll move further for the next numerical, which is somehow difficult. The numerical is the 3 jet Pelton turbine is required to generate 10,000 kilowatt under a net head of 400 mm. The blade angle at outlet is 15 degree, and the reduction in the relative velocity while passing over the blade is 5%. If the overall efficiency of the wheel is 80%, CV equals to 0.98 and speed ratio equals to 0.46, then find out the diameter of jet, total flow in meter cube per second, the force exerted by jet on the buckets. The condition for this is, if the jet ratio is not to be less than 10, find the speed of wheel for a frequency of 50 hertz per second and the corresponding wheel diameter. Okay, here they have given that the 3 jet Pelton turbine is there. That means number of jets on the turbine is 3. Okay, the power is given as 10,000 kilowatt. Net head is H is given 400. Now outlet blade angle is given. These blade angle, guide blade angles, these things I have explained in impact of jet chapter. So guide blade angle, that is phi, equals to at outlet is 15 degrees, and the reduction in the relative velocity while passing over a blade is 5%. Okay, that means relative velocity at outlet will be 5% less than the relative velocity at inlet. That means VR2 equals to 0.95 VR1. Okay, overall efficiency they have given as 80%. CV they have given as 0.98. Also speed ratio is given as 0.46. Frequency is 50 hertz per second. Okay, now by using the equation for overall efficiency, first we are going to calculate the discharge. Okay, so for overall efficiency, power, that is shaft power or power, divided by water power. Water power can be calculated by rho g QH divided by 1000. Okay, now by using this you can find out the discharge. Discharge here is obtained as 3.18 meter cube per second. Okay, power is known 10,000 kilowatts, and H is also known, that is 400 net head, and overall efficiency they have given as 80%. Now by using that we have find out the discharge Q. This is total discharge. 3.18 meter cube per second is your total discharge. Okay, so they have mentioned that this turbine is a 3 jet Pelton turbine. 3 jet Pelton turbine. That means this 3.18 is discharged from all the 3 turbines. So for one discharge through one turbine, we have to divide this total divided by 3. We can get the discharge through one nozzle as 1.06. Okay, this is combined discharge of 3 jets. This is the discharge of one. Now the diameter of jet, that is small d, diameter of jet, as we have calculated in previous 3 numericals, in the same manner we have to calculate here. Discharge through one nozzle equals to area of jet into velocity. Okay, area of jet into velocity. But here velocity we have to calculate, velocity of jet. So velocity of jet can be calculated by v1 equals to cv root of 2gh. Okay, here h net head is known 400 and coefficient of velocity cv they have given as 0.98. So substitute here, you will get v1 value, that is velocity value of jet is 87 meters per second. Okay, now for this expression, the discharge through one nozzle we have calculated as 1.06. Here area of jet, one jet can be calculated by pi by 4 d square and velocity will obtain as 87 meters per second. Okay, so by using this expression we can find out the diameter of jet, diameter of one jet. So d, small d, diameter of jet will be 0.125 meters, that is 125 mm. Okay, the first thing they have calculated here, diameter of jet. Now secondly they have asked us to find out the total flow in meter cube per second. Now total flow in meter cube per second we have already calculated. For first, that is discharge is 3.18 meter cube per second, so no need of calculating it again. Total flow will be 3.18 meter cube per second. Now third, they have asked us to find out the force exerted by jet on the wheel. For this, you have to remember the impact of jet topic also. Now here, the speed ratio they have given by using the expression of u1 or u, that is u equals to phi into root 2 gh. So phi equals to u1 upon root 2 gh. So u1 can be calculated as speed ratio into root of 2 gh, will get the value 40.75 meters per second. This is your u1. Okay, u1. Now this u1 will be equals to u2 will be equals to u. So u1 will be equals to u2, that is 40.75 meters per second. Now by the help of, by using the velocity triangles, we can calculate VR1. VR1 will be equal to V1 minus U1. This thing in first numerical we have studied this. VR1 equals to V1 minus U1. So VR1 is relative velocity at inlet is 46.25 meters per second. In the same manner we have to find out the VR2. But here they have put a condition that VR2 is 0.95 times the VR1. Okay, so by using this condition we can get 44 meters per second as VR2. Now if you remember that velocity triangle, in that velocity triangle V1 is equals to VW2, VW1. So V1 value we have calculated 87. So VW2 will be 87 meters per second and VW2 VW2 value is 1.75 meters per second. VW1 we have get 87 and VW2 1.75. So the force exerted by single jet on the buckets will be QAV into VW1 plus VW2. AV is nothing but discharge through one jet. Force is obtained as 94.075 kilonewtons. Okay. Now this is about the first part of that numerical. Now the second part they have given that if the jet ratio is not to be less than 10, find the speed of wheel for frequency of 50 hertz per second and corresponding wheel diameter. Okay, that means for this the condition is jet ratio is not to be less than 10. Now the jet ratio will be equals to 10. That means d by d of d equals to 10. Now from this diameter of wheel will be 10 into d, diameter of jet. Diameter of jet we have calculated. So diameter of wheel will be 1.25 meters. Now U1, by using U1 we have to find out the RPM for this jet ratio. Okay, for this jet ratio or for this diameter of wheel, the N, that is speed, RPM will be 620 revolutions per minute. Okay, this is for the diameter of 1.25 meters. They have given in they have given that diameter of wheel is 1.25 meters. So for this the N will be 620 and U1 we have calculated previously. U1 is 40.75. Okay, so RPM is 620. Now by using the equation of frequency, relation of frequency and speed, the relation is speed equals to 60 f divided by p. Okay, 60 f divided by p. Now here f is nothing but the frequency in hertz per second, frequency in hertz per second, and p is nothing but pair of poles, pair of poles. Now here, and n is speed, so pair of poles p can be calculated by 60 f upon n. Here frequency is known and also the speed is known. So pair of poles, that is p, will be 4.85. Now 4.85 will be nearly equals to 5. Okay, let's take this a whole number. So 4.85 will nearly equal to 5. Now uh, corresponding to these 5 pairs of poles, the speed of this turbine will become 60 f upon pair of poles, so it will become 600 rpm. Okay, previously it is obtained as 620 and corresponding to the 5 pairs of pole it will become 600 rpm. Okay, now again, as here n is changed, we have to find out the diameter. Okay, so the diameter for this is d equals to 60 u upon pi n. Okay, it will become 1.3. Previously it is obtained as 1.25 meters. Now in this here it is obtained as 1.3. Now for this diameter and the diameter of jet, we have to again find out the jet ratio. The jet ratio will be capital D upon small d. Okay, it will become greater than 10. That means the condition that they have given is satisfied here. They have given that the jet ratio is not to be less than 10. That means it should be increased or equals to 10. Hmm. Now for this condition we have find out the speed and the wheel diameter. Okay, speed is given as 600 rpm and wheel diameter is 1.25. Okay, so for this condition n is 600 rpm and the capital D will be your 1.3 meters. This is about the design of Pelton wheel or Pelton turbine and the general calculations of numerical parts for the Pelton wheel. In next video, we will move for the Francis or Kaplan turbine and the numericals for same Francis or Kaplan turbine. Up to this, I hope you understand what is Pelton turbine and how to design the different parameters for the Pelton wheel. Thank you.